You couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. So, hello everybody. Good morning. I'm Higher Vibrations and so are you. I don't know how to stream on multiple platforms, so we're using my phone here and the PC here to stream this at this moment. It's just a quick I wanted to jump on for a moment and talk about this time stuff that a lot of us are having happen. It's it's really kind of fun but scary feeling when it happens. And so a lot of us have had this occur just a couple of days ago is what it started is that we started to feel like a lot of weird deja vu kind of stuff, a lot of things to do with like weird like matrix glitches and stuff, just really bizarre, and this funky feeling came with it. And so this funky feeling at first felt really uncomfortable. It felt really icky. And then I read into it to see what was really going on. And what I got was it's like the echo that's leaving when you open a new space. So we finally left behind full on, all anchoring to this previous timeline that we were attempting to leave behind. That was intentionally going. I actually didn't push go live on the Facebook one. So now I'm live on Facebook too. For those of you who are interested in my Facebook channel, I put a post up earlier so you can join me there. And it's something new that I'm doing. I'm not that technologically advanced anymore. I'm not that person. So any of you who do want to join my Facebook, please look to the post and I'll include it in the description of this video later on. Um, but let's talk about this time shift that's happening. So, I noticed it specifically happen the day before yesterday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Though it was funky all day, just this off, weird funk thing, feeling just off, occurring throughout the day before that. People reported some serious glitches in the matrix during that time. Some people reported it happening a lot earlier, and it went on for a full day. It went on for a full day, and we're still kind of doing it today. So this is day 3, I would say, right? And so what happened is we stepped out of time. We stepped out of old time. And when that happens, there's the echo. So that was what I was disrupted by. And a lot of you, I'm sure, have the similar experience where we were having all of this like doubt, self doubt, and it kind of echoing back. The way that the spirit showed it to me, I'm always getting all these really interesting visuals, is that you open the lid and there's like this ah, residue leaving behind, or being left behind of this old paradigm, this old place. And those pieces, those parts that we didn't experience before were needing to be seen. And so for me, just like a lot of you, I don't go there anymore. I'm not that person. And so it really felt funky to be in this place of like, well, like what's going on, And so anyway, just to let you all know what's occurring, this is a great thing. And what's fun is I didn't even realize the connection. Someone had pointed out that they had a theory anyway, and it feels like it really makes a lot of sense that when the Schumann resonance goes into its blackouts, that what's actually occurring is that's a place out of time. That's when time is we're falling away from time, and I wouldn't probably have considered that theory until this experience started to occur the past 2-3 days. And so what does that mean? That means we're in a place where we can start to create once the canvas has been emptied and you have a new palette to start over again. That's when we do it. Okay. So you all know that you're powerful manifestors, that you can create with just a thought. So consider the thoughts that you're putting out there, is my only suggestion. Allowing yourself to consider what it is you want, saying those things rather than saying what you don't want. So I'll quickly I'll go through and say hello to everybody. Hello, Luminous Light. Hello, Cut Carolyn. Hello, good to see you. Spiritual Warriors here. Hello, Kay. Lies Lutz here. Love and Light from Sweden. Lies Lote. Edward said something happened last night. Yeah, okay. So you're on the same path with us. We're having the same kind of experience. Luminous Light, yeah, definitely feels like time change shifted. A dilation, maybe. Yeah, I thought the word dilation too. I'm not sure what it is exactly. I do know that when that happened, it was like any of you who have not seen the movie Interstellar, this is your spoiler alert. The scene when he's in the Tesseract, the time that's been made into from a 5-dimensional state into a 3-dimensional state, and they start to close. They start to close, and like it just kind of implodes into light upon himself, and then he becomes. And then all of a sudden, now it's time to start to open places again, and not in the same way, which is a liberating and awesome thing. So when this echo thing happened, what came forward is the echo, the shout of what little healing is left to be done. And we're in this place of trauma healing, right? Realizing what trauma is and then being able to evolve above it. And that is what the theme of this moment, this time is. It's really an exciting place to be in. Um, and I'll go ahead and then John says, hello, everyone. Greetings from Holland. Welcome. Catherine, did not sleep well last night. Woke 4 times, woke up a lot too. And then I woke up way early and I was in deep meditation. It was awesome. And then my alarm went off while I was in meditation. I was like, oh, I forgot to turn that off. It was, yeah. Esther says, what a surprise. I found you on the Facebook, dear Pamela. Oh, I'm so happy that you found us. Thank you for coming. Waking Beauty. I feel like the past weekend has been such a shift. Yeah. And we're in it. And, happy August, happy full moon, super moon, the second of 4 super moons in a row. I don't know about y'all. I have never, ever, ever heard of more than like 2 super moons. I actually don't remember hearing about 2 in a row. 4 in a row. And the end of the month of August is of a blue moon. We're having 2 full moons this month. And so it's a super blue moon. Like the odds of all of that lining up the way that it is. There's something else too, is that's happening right after the 25th of September. Is the last of the super moons happens on the 28th, I believe, of September. And the 25th of September is like the big day, and so it's just so much coming through right now. It's really exciting, but it feels kind of jarring, so there's a lot of really cool resources to see what's going on this month as well. And of course, we're already feeling Lionsgate. So let's talk about that for a minute. What is Lionsgate? Because there's always like, oh no, it's Lionsgate. It's like saying Mercury's in retrograde. And usually everybody knows what those 2 things are. And that's all they really know at the beginning. So Lionsgate is when the Syrian sun lines up with our sun more perfectly, and that it can direct the loving awesomeness from the Syrian sun to our sun. And then what we get from our sun is then amplified to us in that way times 10. So times 10, what you normally would get from our sun, you're going to be getting during this alignment that occurs with the Syrian sun. Okay, now also consider this. We are getting pummeled by these solar flares in a good way. Like, I feel like it's really a positive gift. We're being given extra light codes. However, when that happens, then we end up finding that the amplification coming from the Syrian sun is then brought into an even more extreme, right? So then what occurs is that when you have the fertile healing ground happening, then all of the sudden, all of the things that are ready to be healed or want to be healed go, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Pick me, pick me, pick me. And then all of a sudden it's like walking into a, a place with a bunch of children who are hungry. I don't know. Everyone's talking. Everyone's saying, look at me, look at me. And so you're not meant to feel overwhelmed. It just happens that way when we forget that we can pick one at a time, that you don't have to address everything at this moment. In fact, I would be really surprised if anyone even, it's just something that's just why allow yourself the chance to heal one thing at a time. Sometimes they're related, right? So, and then Lionsgate, that's on the 8th of August. So that's 8/8, the 8th of the month, the 8th month, and the 8th of the calendar, whatever, the day of the month. So we are already feeling this coming in during all this amazing solar flares. Like we got I think there were 12 sunspots. And of those 12 sunspots, like 5 of them, I think, were M-class solar flares. So how it works is you have a class system for the solar flares. You have a C-class solar flare. Solar flare is like a burst of energy coming off the sun and going out into the world, the cosmos. And the odds of it being Earth facing are pretty, small. However, we're getting Earth facing all of the time. Okay, so it starts with C. C class is the lowest class, but then they also add numbers to the side of it to quantify the strength of that particular classification. Second is the M class flare. That's the middle one. And then they'll have, again, a series of numbers to clarify the intensity. And the last and most intense that they have in their classification system is an X. And the X class flare is like, whoa, radio blackout if it messes with our Wi-Fi, when it comes and disrupts our satellites and stuff like that. They call it solar weather. And this also impacts us, helps us, and also increases our ascension symptoms, which are helping us. It just may not feel like it. So anyway, we had a whole bunch of C-class flares, and I think there was about 5 or so of them that just came through that are M-class flares, the middle ones. So it's pretty substantial. We're getting that, while the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of Gaia, the heartbeat of Earth, it can be measured, is increasing, doing this weird activity. We're going offline, going into blackouts, which again comes up the theory that when we are in blackouts is when we're having these time slippage things. We're noticing that we're out of time. We're no longer in time the way that we're accustomed to being. And it's always, so far, these 2 blackouts on the Schumann has been consistent with my experience with finding myself out of the time place and feeling funky. And again, when that happens, right around that time, I'll notice all this self-doubt stuff coming up. And it's like really far out there, but it's like flies. It's like, okay, no, 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 no. And you're like, no, what is going on? And this is the closing as it reopens. It's the echo that's coming back of things that need to heal. So, hello, everybody. I know some people don't have Facebook. I didn't have Facebook for the longest time. Rapali, hello, sweetie. So good to see you. I've been really hesitant to get Facebook. I was thrown off of Facebook a handful of years ago for I don't know why, and didn't go back. And then you know what? It just um, I, it's a means of communicating and connecting with people, and so I feel like that when we go engage in anything, as long as you use the right intention and you declare your intentions, then you can do pretty much anything, and there are things that will definitely be disharmonious to us, and no one's encouraging anyone to do anything that's disharmonious for them. This is just another means of letting more people know that they're not alone. Like, I'm not trying to be a celebrity here. That's like the least, that is not my goal. Never has been. In fact, I was so reluctant to start a YouTube channel because I don't want to be a face. I wanted to be like a voice. However, this is what my guides, my higher self, and everybody just didn't stop. And so here I am. I'm a face. However, my point to say that all of that is the reason I'm here is to let you all know that you're not alone and what's going on. When we have the power of knowledge, then everything is doable. When I used to always say, when I have an expiration, if I have an expiration date, I can do anything. If I know how long I'm going to do something or what it is. So here we are. Anyway, so I'm not encouraging anyone to join Facebook who are not already on there. However, if you are, you're welcome to join me there. I don't know. I just got some weird notification that I don't know how to do that. So anyway, hello, Waking Beauty. It feels excuse me. It feels connected to the moon for me. Yes, there's got a lot of the moon that's in right now is a very fascinating moon. I agree with you. I'm still trying to feel into it because I feel like this is the crackle, crackle, crackle of the opening of the wrapping paper part, if that makes sense. Like that anticipation of here it comes. So we'll see what happens with the moon in the next little bit here. Hello and living. Good to see you, Catherine McDuck. Hello. Hi from Scotland. I am vibrating from head to toe and couldn't sleep last night. No one could sleep last night. I was awake so many times. And you know what's happening? This is what's been the most frustrating thing for me is that I will be waking up in the middle of healing something deep, some old trauma. And I'll acknowledge that's what's happening. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, I'm almost done healing that thing. And so it's something that we're all doing. I think we're being brought out of it while we're healing to recall it and bring it into this density or this frequency so we can heal it more thoroughly. Um, Hello, Fania. Good to see you, sweetie. Palette, welcome. Antoine, does anyone else feel time they're choosing better timelines? Like time jumping. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. Pardon me. Excuse me. Exactly. There's this lung thing that a lot of us are having right now across the planet, by the way. It's been really fascinating to hear stories. I talked with some people from Australia recently. They're having the same thing at the same time. Very weird. Anyway, yeah, so what time is? Time, I can't find a good piece of paper. Time is flat like a piece of paper, though it must be folded in order to exist within it. And so it went from flat to circular to exist within it. And what we've done is we flattened it again. So now it exists, though we don't exist within it, we exist upon it. And now there's a more ability to interact, to manipulate, and manipulate in a good way to create. That's the right word, to create what's before us. And so, like, we're doing all kinds of interesting stuff with time. What we are is beings that don't exist within time. And we're just, it's just an accommodation that we're leaving behind. We no longer need it. And so there's some echoes, there's some frequency that gets left behind and almost diminished for a moment as it's going, so just allowing it to move through and know it's not you. Don't have to absorb it and connect to it. Let it go. A lot of really what feels like low vibrational stuff, like old stuff coming up, it's not asking you to look at it exactly. It's just knowing they were real, that they happened, that they were, and let them move on. Let them go to their next place. So last week, I started to see other dimensions quite clearly, says Esther. Cool. The sky appears to be a tunnel sometimes. Rainbows appear here and there, and lots of orbs and different shapes of rainbows. Rainbows that you would expect. Rainbows are normally like this. There's occasionally a sundog. Now they're like beings in the sky. There are these, what I've been calling a rainbow rainbow rivers, or I changed the wording. It's a rainbow that's solid like a river, liquidy solid like a river, that's also in different places in the air. And what's cool is that I'm not the only one that sees them anymore. Others are starting to see them now, which is really cool. Palette Rock says, all of July. Can it now be acknowledged? All of July. Yeah. Oh my goodness. July was a very intense month. Goodbye, July. Holy cow. So, yeah. Waking Beauty, I actually feel the most relief I have felt in a long time. Good. Like density is finally lifting. Yes, yes, yes. And falling away. Like I am piercing through the veils of my own illusions and limitations and aligning more. Exactly. Exactly. We're moving into the frequency that better fits our own frequency, the frequency that you have had since you've come here. Remember, you've been in a foreign land technically because your frequency, the vibration that you hold has not been the same. So that's why there's always been conflict and like not feeling like you belong, outcast, very alone and isolated sensation, all of this weird like separatism and all that stuff. And then we're moving away from that because we're finally getting to our correct vibrational state. The frequency that we are keeping is now also the place that we're living. It just takes a little time for it to catch up. So, hey, 111 people here. That's so cool. Just as I was about to read Nezzy 1111's comment. Hello, Nezzy. Hey, she says, hey, sweetie. Antoine says, and does y'all imagination feel more real? Yeah, that's really been changing. We've been Okay, so your manifestation chakra is what we've been calling it, has increased. How the power of it has been increasing. The more that we leave density behind, the more that we can engage with this. The more that when we leave behind the filters of yesterday's sorrows, like because what we do in a human experience is we put on layers and layers and layers of glasses, different colors of our yesterdays, and we then can only look through into the todays with those tints, and it's not correct. It's distorted. It's a distorted truth. And so now that we're lifting these different goggles off of our sight, we're able to engage with it more in a more pure way. And so, in that perspective, we're then able to feel the truth of being able to manipulate, I guess is the right word. I'm trying to think of a better word because that has so much negative connotation, the word manipulation. But we were able to move, change, and create what's before us in a much more efficient way without all of that baggage. It's like, oh no, just allowing yourself to be. One awesome, useful thing to remind yourself on occasion is that when we are asking for something, we want to be sure that we're asking for what we want and not exactly what we don't want. It gets confused along the transmission, and we can often find ourselves requesting what we don't want. Moreover, using the the truth inside yourself that it is now, that you're in that experience right now, will really help you. One of the tricks I learned to practice manifestation is to use a notebook and write it like a diary, like a journal entry, a letter to a friend or a family member saying, "Guess what just happened?" And then telling the details of what's about to be manifested. When we do that, we go to the place where what it feels like when it's happening. And that's really where manifestation truly occurs. It's when you're in the emotion of experiencing the thing. So allowing yourself to experience it in that way will amplify your manifestation, and help you to um, be in a more powerful control, be able to control a little bit more what you're manifesting in your life. Let's see. Hello, Antoine says, look up Seda Yoga on Google. Oh yeah, there's a lot of really awesome um, creators and content out there right now. I'm really happy to be here for this experience. What an honor. I've had chosen several times in my younger years to try to leave very early. I was a very suicidal person, and I don't have that experience anymore. The more that we heal through these things, they just go away. It's really cool. It's interesting to think back on and thought, wow, phew, I'm so glad I wasn't. They didn't let me die. Like I tried so many times. Um, PS says, we're having total brain freeze and amnesia episodes over here. I guess we're rebooting something. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is what we're doing. There is some type of a reboot. A reset is the word that I use, and I got corrected. It's respite. It's like you always, spirit likes that word. It's respite. Right now we're in respite. So, but yeah, and while we're doing that, then all of a sudden you have a clean slate. You've just wiped your memory from your computer kind of stuff. There's no more any weird operating programs in the background. Everything is by choice now. Now it's the age of consent. It's the time where consent is expected for these things. Feeling the shift making us feel like shift, says Kay. That's hilarious. She also says, choose, live, peace, joy, unity, and happiness. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Um, Let's see. Red Herring Media says, I'm finding it easier to let go of old habitual patterns. Hooray. Not sure how that works. I guess we work with a certain routine frequency, and then it's time to deactivate all worldly attachments. That is something that we're all doing in mass right now, finding more and more detachment, pulling away. Detachment in a very positive and choice based way. I am no longer in resonance with the frequency of this thing, fill in the blank. And I now am removing my consent. I like how Todd Medina said it in Soulology. He said, it's not using like anger. So you're not putting up boundaries like F off kind of stuff. It's just like, nope, I love you. Bye. That's what we're doing. We're like, no, it's not going to be something we're going to participate in right now. Love you, sending you love, and then backing away. Individuals will follow, and that's okay. I've been told over and over again that it's like magnets. They're meant to come to us. and that, not to follow, that when we delve into the pit, we can't, then we're also in the pit. You know, you can be the encouraging voice and the one holding the flashlight or the torch down into the pit so they could see where to go, and shouting out to them how you got out. Though, if you're not ever, if you're not if outside of the pit, then you too will be within the pit. You know, so we're detaching and pulling away. Uninvestment is the word, the activation word of the week for me, or the month. It's been all about uninvesting, uninvest from all of the stuff that, and people that we love, and also that aren't in harmony with us, all of them. And then when you uninvest, then their world no longer affects you. There's still love there, there's still friendship, there's still exchange occurring. However, there isn't, when you don't have investment, then you realize that their emotional response has nothing to do with you. Like, no one makes anybody happy or mad, right? So, um, we got some lung stuff going on with Waking Beauty. I have lung thing right now in California. It's super weird. Yep, there's another one. It's the weirdest thing, and it feels like it's at the top, which is interesting because this is the heart center. Like, this is the base root for our heart center, chakra center. So I don't know what's going on exactly with that. It doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. My muscles hurt. My something is so tight, says Kay. I'm sorry, I don't know what that word is. Subby says hello. Okay, let's say that again. Sub Ziffy says hello. I have had a lot of eye twitching the past 10 days. Oh, that's so annoying. But only my left eye. Is there significance? There's only one eye. Yeah, so it always happens with one eye for me. It's always been that way. Usually it's like eyebrow for days, then this eyebrow for days, and then like down here for days. It's like it slowly cycles over several days, and then it does this, and then it ends up going into like larger muscle groups in the body. And then it cycled back where it was starting to do the eyelid, and so yes, the divine feminine side is the left side of your body, the divine masculine is the right side of your body. So considering the different types of balancing that we're doing right now we got this Odin father loving beautiful energy. I A lot of misrepresentation of what this Odin frequency had been in the past is a whole different thing. We're talking about a very loving, protective, nurturing, loud and excited celebration energy of this Odin, this fatherly, loving, protective energy. And as this divine masculine comes in this way, the divine masculine comes in this way, then we're able to balance other parts of us that we weren't able to balance before. See, the divine feminine was pretty much full on removed. However, the divine masculine was left to remain and to be severely abused. The divine masculine in all of us too, the female form, the male form, and all of the above. And so we find ourselves balancing things and within us that maybe we don't identify as our own gender. And so, and then you look at just in a social way what's happened with the masculine and the diminishment and the abuse of it over the years, that there's just a balancing occurring. So divine feminine, left side, there is significance to it. I find it to be a very useful and powerful activation when those happen, when they're over with, because I really don't like my eyes twitching. We find that whenever we're letting density leave us, old memory, old belief systems, old patterns, they transmutation is what's happening, and we're transmuting it, and it's causing the twitching, and it's actually a channeled message from Archangel Michael from a while ago. He talked about it, and it's the density leaving us. It's the density going. It causes that right response. It's very fascinating. And that's when he said, for shadow cannot stand before the light. And so as the light comes in more strongly for you, then you'll notice that the things that are perhaps not of the light or in the same, not in balance, it becomes the light. And so it causes a shaking up and vibration kind of thing for a lot of people. This has been really fun. This is so impromptu. I didn't expect to do this today. I was just getting out of the bath. As you can see, my hair is still wet. And I said, oh, I have to go. I have to go live and talk about this time thing that we're doing right now. Prithvi, good to see you, sweetie. Vegan Vixen just found this. Didn't know I was coming on. Yeah, I didn't have a plan to do it. I was in the bathtub going, I need to tell people about this time thing. I need to let them know what's going on, let them know that they're not alone. Because what I have done is I've individually reached out to different people and said, "Do you guys know what this is? This is happening to me, and it's not comfortable. And is anyone else doing it?" And when I found out that other people were doing it, then I was like, "We should talk about it. We should let people know that they're not alone." So if you've missed this live, please do the replay. There's so much information and use in this. Um, and Before I go, just to remind you, I just joined Facebook, so I'll put my link to my Facebook. I see someone's joined Facebook with me right now. Anyone who wants to join, I just starting this journey on Facebook, or so it's just going to be I'm figuring things out as I go. Um, Also, I'm going to be among the many panelists, the speakers at the Soulology Fest in December 8th, 9th, and 10th, which is going to be really awesome. I just found out I get to have my own tent, so I can provide services. I can do readings in person. That is a rare thing that I've never had the opportunity to do for anyone, is to do readings for you in person. So if you would like this rare opportunity, the early bird tickets are still available. I believe that the early bird window is for this month, for August. I believe it ends in September. So get on now if you get a chance. They're $333, which is really cheap compared to most of these retreats. Like, I've never heard of one that's less than $1,000. And it's going to be longer than 3 days, from what I understand. That people are going to be joining earlier and earlier. This is in Houston, Texas. So, anyway, if anyone is interested, if anyone would like to join, I will have that link. I think I actually put it on there already. It's already in the description of this video. You can go to soulologynetwork.com and go to the Soulology Fest. And from there, you can purchase your tickets. Otherwise, they are going to be offering the sale of these tickets until the event occurs, or at least when they run out. I love you all. I am going to go now. Thank you for letting me be available. Thank you for popping up. This is so cool to see have such a good turnover without any kind of heads up. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon. Aho blessings.